Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to Immortality, where I guess I've decided we're going again. I guess I decided we're doing another episode. I was clicking around. I've been clicking around in the clips for a while now, jumping through Carl's face, jumping through Marissa's face. This is new. This is the first new clip I've seen in probably about 20 minutes of exploring, and I think it's a significant one. I've already watched this through to the end, so I know what happens here. I have not watched the backwards clip that is embedded in it, however. I think you're going to see why I thought it was a good idea to bring Elle back in here.
Scene 17A, take one.
Action.
Actually, hold on a second. Hold on just a second here. I want to make a note of the date on the clapboard. Sorry. Okay, the 30th.
Take one.
Action. You know how to use that thing? Frankie Santora? It just went off. Fuck, Jesus fucking Christ.
So that's something, huh? That's okay. Before we go making anything of it, let's watch the thing that's embedded. I mean, it doesn't really make a lot of sense that there would be a loaded gun. Why would they be using a real gun? All right.
I'm gonna shoot him. It's us or them. Do it. You chose them.
I chose me.
You never watched me die before.
I have some definite questions, some questions that I cannot imagine will be answered about who it is that is supposed to be directing. Like, what are we actually watching right now? Because, like, most of the time, a scene with these two in it is candid, like, but here, there's camera movement, there's direction. It looks like film in a way that, I don't know. But also, there's more stuff, so. Okay, I think I need to go slower here. Yeah.
She saw that they cremated me. But I didn't die. An infinity of nothing. And then...
And then...
I watched him die on the screen.
And I was reborn.
It just went off. Fuck, Jesus fucking Christ.
To be clear, I did not do that. This one looped back around itself, but it made the noise right before it looped back around, so I'm kind of curious if I could have... Let me try to get back there. So that's very interesting. Somehow the other one was able to take the body of... That's Amy Archer, right? Somehow the other one was able to take the body of Amy Archer with her just having watched him on film. And, I'm saying him and her. Like, their presentation is very obviously... Like, they are both obviously gendered and obviously intended to be somewhat androgynous, which is an interesting... There's kind of a lot of weird, kind of a lot of fucky gender stuff going on here in general, I guess. I haven't really, taken the time to comment on it, but, having the woman who is playing Franny playing Frankie Santora, this scene doesn't... The construction of this scene doesn't make a lot of sense to me at all. I guess Franny was... In the plot of Minsky, it is supposed to be the case that Franny and Frankie Santora are the same person. That can't be right. I assumed... Upon first watching, my assumption was that she was doing a stand-in thing. They were going to use somebody else's voice, but, she approaches him in such a way that her face is toward the camera when she runs at him when he's got the wine bottle. So I don't know, maybe it is supposed to be, but the backwards lady jumps to Marissa and to John, and I don't know, there's maybe, as a trans person playing a game that has a somewhat opaque way of dispensing its plot, I'm just leaping at shadows here. But there does seem to be... There's some stuff. I think there's some stuff going on, is all I'm saying. Anyway, shall we get back to the thing I was going to do? All right. Also, here's another thing I'm not clear on. Is she supposed to have seen the clip that we just saw of the backwards lady and the other one fighting? Or is she supposed to have seen the clip of of Carl Greenwood being shot? Because if she is supposed to have seen it, it sure looks like... I mean, the theater that she's in is obviously an abstraction. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it in terms of what it literally is. I get what it represents, but I don't know what it literally is, and that does matter as well.
But I...
Okay, so backwards is forwards in this clip. So when we get to the noise, I want to turn it around the other way. Damn it, too fast. I missed it. I missed it very slightly. That's annoying. All right, sorry, y'all. I will get it this time.
watched him die on the screen.
It may well be the case there's not even anything to jump into here. That it's just making the noise because it's going to do a jump. Yeah, okay. I think the noise is just because it's about to do a jump. Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, that's something, huh? That's still not Carl Greenwood's death, like the one in which he was replaced. But it is something. Yeah. Meaningful. Ominous music here on the menu. Oh. Oh, did I do it? Did we trigger the thing? I guess that's like a critically important piece of plot, right? So, okay, I mean, that tells us pretty conclusively, I think. I guess let's just go ahead and... That tells us pretty conclusively how that's unlocked. Okay, some of them are falling away without my intervention. I'm assuming that we want them all to become transparent here.
I'm part of you now.
Is something else going to happen? Or... Interesting. I'm assuming that that's... By the way, definitely not true of the computer that I'm playing this game on at the moment, so what a weird thing. Okay, well, we got our credits. I guess we were like right at the end there. I mean, I will say, we were like a clip away from a proper ending at the end of the last episode. But again, it was like probably close to 20 minutes of me just clicking through clips trying to get that to fire. It definitely does suggest to me that my theory about the what do you call it? My theory about the game sort of like advancing along lines of thought or plot lines as you're bouncing through clips is probably not correct. I hope someday I get to be credited as Satan in something. No, okay, we do not need another version of this song. Oops, I did not. Now I'm like panicked and actually looking. Okay, no, I definitely have way more than 5 gigabytes free. Okay. I thought I would just tab out and double check because I was like, uh-oh, if it's not actually recording because the hard drive's full, I'd be worried. But no, not the case. It's just wrong. They're like weirdly proud of this song, considering how bad it is. So, I mean, that's really interesting. Her appearing and saying, I'm part of you now in such a definitely not triumphant way is really interesting. Because there could be, I mean, like, I assume the reason you can't see the ending until you see that other clip is because you need to get the idea that just watching a clip of them is enough for them to sort of like take over your body. But she doesn't seem to be like, haha, I am taking you over, I'm being reborn. She's saying that and then, you know, slowly beginning to cry in a way that's much more suggestive of like, I'm part of you now in that you are affected by the art I made in the way that you are changed by all art. And as such, the work of the artist lives in you, you know, etc. I don't know. It's very interesting. I appreciate them not doing it in the most obvious way. One of the catering companies is called Full Moon Pickles. Do you reckon? I mean, do you reckon it's actually... They must bring more food than that. Maybe it's just... There are a lot of pickles on set. I don't want to jump at... I don't want to jump at stereotypes or anything, but if there's some fucky gender stuff going on... I'm just saying, I know an awful lot of trans ladies who are very into pickles. That's all. It's such a stereotype that I really thought maybe it was going to happen to me. And I did not like pickles before I started transition. I thought, oh, maybe the HRT, maybe, you know, the Spiro makes you crave salt. And no, it doesn't. I still do not like pickles, is what I discovered the other day. There's kind of a lot of... Okay, can we... This doesn't have a fast forward. Well, it does let you just exit, though. Okay. I guess that's it. I guess we saw the ending. That's definitely interesting. That is a meaningful clip, and it's exactly the kind of thing I spent the entire last episode looking for and not finding. Which, you know, it's a little frustrating. It's a little frustrating that you cannot necessarily guarantee that a path of action leads you to where you're going at any particular amount of time. The game's very wandery, and the fact that it will take you back to things you've seen and just like loop you through multiple scenes that you've already seen on the way to maybe bringing you something new, and you can't know if that is in fact on the horizon, is frustrating. It's a frustrating implementation. Anyway, I guess that's it. That's going to be it for us for today and for the series. Thank you all so much. That was Immortality. I thought it was very interesting, and I'm glad I played it. I do wish that they could have hammered out some of the ricketiness with the system there. But yeah, it was good. Hey, that's not supposed to be... Okay, well, apparently that thing is somewhat broken. All right. I'm going to go fix my credits scroll image. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time tomorrow, more different stuff. There'll be something else in this slot, and we'll see you then. Hey everybody, there's something I want to tack on to the end here. I know that I really am just appending this to the end of the episode, so I know the credits thing already happened. A bunch of people have probably already clicked away. I'm hoping that the fact that there's like minutes left on the video's time will clue some people into the fact that there is in fact extra bonus content. That's what this is. That makes it sound exciting instead of boring, because it is just going to be me talking over this image. It's been a little while now since I recorded the bit that you just saw. And continuing to think about the game, I found that I couldn't get that song out of my head. The song that we see the backwards lady sing. It was so obvious that I was missing the point of that sequence that I decided I should do a little bit of research. And really, I should have done this before even recording this episode at all because, like I didn't know what was going on at the end of the last episode either. Look things up. When you're confused by art, look things up. It's good general practice. So that song that she was singing, Candy Says, apparently it's a fairly famous song. Probably a lot of you did actually know it. I did not because I am ignorant about music stuff, just sort of broadly. But it's a song written by Lou Reed that is supposed to be the, like in the narrative of the song, the character singing is a transgender woman. Lou Reed, I do not believe, as far as we know, not a transgender human, but he wrote this song in the voice of a transgender woman, specifically Candy Darling, who was a real life transgender woman, who one of Warhol's superstars. And more than that, I believe that the recording that we actually hear in the game is not the song as originally performed by the Velvet Underground, but rather the song as it was performed later by a transgender artist named Anoni. Apparently, this is a thing that happened a lot in the last years of Lou Reed's life. He would join this particular artist for renditions of this song on stage, which really links it to the scene from the movie that clip is encoded into, where Marissa or where Christine, whatever, in the reality of the film, is saying, you maybe are familiar with this song from elsewhere, but I like it better this way. Right, linking to the cover being performed by this woman. I was not familiar with any of this, but given, what I was saying about the sort of interesting gender stuff that this story presents, and particularly was presenting very heavily at the end. Although, that's only the end because we got there last. Who knows what order that stuff happens in for other people. I just thought it was really interesting. I think there's very obviously something going on. I need more time with it. I don't have it like a here's what I think is happening. But it almost makes me wonder if the thing that finally broke down the other one, because right, I was talking about how it really seemed, given all the themes of Two of Everything, it really seemed like the other one must have been feeling that she was approaching death before she started being Marissa and John at the same time, right? So given that we see her singing this song that is meant to be in the voice of a transgender person, or lip syncing along, seeming to perform this song before being overwhelmed by it and having not only to stop, but eventually to leave entirely, it sort of makes me wonder if the thing that broke her down was, at least in some part, being forced to present as a man to be taken seriously the way she wanted in film. I mean, there's definitely suggestion that she had previously been in at least one masculine body, right? There's that black man that we see that I think is supposed to have been a previous body of hers. I don't know. Again, this is a thing where it's just the transgender lady is jumping at a chance to see transness in a thing. But I don't. But this is present. This is here, right? I'm not making this up. I'm not saying it's the whole point of the piece, but it's definitely something that is present. I don't know. It makes sense to me. As somebody who was forced by circumstance to try to present as a man while not being one for somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 years, I can tell you that shit absolutely will kill you. It very nearly did on multiple occasions, actually. So, yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was really interesting. That's something that I wanted to make sure got into the video, because I know it's something I'm going to be thinking about for a while. Yeah, anyway, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. really interesting. I thought this was really interesting. Yeah, come back next time tomorrow for something new, and we'll see you then.